Started. Call to order the Oxford Area Cable Communications Commission meeting for Monday, September the 25th, 2023.
Stand.
Pay our respect to the flag. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Ed,
Here.
Karen. Here. John.
Here.
Mo here. Kathleen is absent.
Okay, take a motion on the agenda.
Move to approve the agenda?
Support.
We have a motion that's been supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public comments on items not on the agenda. This is where you come in.
Cue. Cue the cameraman.
You got nothing to say?
Not today.
Not today, see? Minutes, approval of minutes from OACCC meeting on June 26, 2023. Pages 3 and 4 in your packet. If there's no issues, I'll take a motion, or if there is issues, I'll still take a motion.
If there's no questions, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the June 26, 23 meeting.
Support.
We have a motion that's been supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Item 7, bill review, the expense revenue bill run for approval. They run from pages 5 through 9. Page 9 is the final total. This is for 2 months.
So page 9 in total.
Actually, it's from June through September 11.
Oh, it's full 3 months? Oh, so I'm sorry, 3 months.
Okay.
Is it the 74,096 number?
It is.
Because then there's a negative number below it. I'll make a motion to approve agenda item 7, A, B, and C.
No, A is separate from B and C. A is approval of the money spent. The other ones are just receive and file.
And I can't put them all in the same motion.
Well, I suppose you could.
I'll make a motion to approve 7A, B, and C, including the bills in the amount of $74,096.73.
All right, we have a motion. We need roll call.
Who supported that?
I'll support.
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't get support. We have motion that's been supported. Do we have any concerns or questions regarding the bill pay or the revenue and expense reports? Oh, I think I have one. The service is professional. You're over the original budget. Is that because of Watson?
Yes, we added the ProTech to that, yeah.
Okay.
And we also have a budget amendment in here on the agenda for that.
All right. Any questions regarding any of the, so, roll call.
John,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Karen,
Yes.
Mo, yes.
Motion carries. Item 7, A, B, and C are then addressed. 8A, the Michigan Class Investment, page 18. This is the fund that Joe put our reserves in, did he put all 100% in?
No, yeah,
That was Joe Ferrari.
Right, Joe, I'm sorry, Joe Ferrari, the township of Oxford's treasurer. He put it into a different investment group.
made a huge difference.
Yeah, he made a few more bucks.
Take every penny we can get.
Um,
I think he left the interest amount in the Oakland County investment pool, there's still 742 in there. I think that was the interest,
Oh, that's why I was looking at that, I didn't,
And basically, it kept it open in case he needed to switch it back.
yeah, I see that, so, I'm not I think we need to discuss the talking points, but as far as the, A and B, I'll take a motion to receive and file, unless anybody has any concerns or questions.
I'll make a motion to receive and file the Michigan Class Investment and Oakland County Investment Pool reports.
I'll second that.
We have a motion that's been supported, all in favor? Opposed? I didn't see the talking points as I was reading that, on my, home computer. Can't you give us some brief,
I can give you more tomorrow. So I'm going to Lansing with our MICMA group tomorrow because they are going to argue these points. There's a House Bill 4965, if you want to look that up. It has to do with the streaming, and so lobbyists are trying to not stream, to convince this commission not to stream, or not to charge streaming, right? They're in the rights of way, just like AT&T and Spectrum. They're using those rights of way, but they don't want to pay the franchise fees or PEG fees, and so they're arguing that tomorrow. Mike Watsa is also arguing that, and as many people as possible are going up to Lansing tomorrow to,
ballpark, how many local access cable stations would you say might be in attendance?
probably 5 of us that I know of.
From
that
around the
belong to
state?
The MICMA group, pardon me,
Are they from around the state or from around,
from
like,
around the state.
around the state?
Mhm.
Okay.
We need more voices than that. However, that's about all we can gather. I think we really need to appeal to the communities. So we need people like Joe Madore, Jack Curtis, Bruce Pearson to go up there because it's not only going to affect public access stations. Basically, from North Oakland County up, those communities are absorbing those fees into their general fund. They're paying for police officers, fire, EMS, and everything else that they need. Like Leonard that's $2,300 a year they would lose, period. I can't even imagine what Oxford would lose. Oxford pays us, but if they didn't, they'd be losing a couple $100,000 a year. So it's the community leaders that need to go voice their opinions. And that's why I actually put this in our packet. It's not done and over with as of tomorrow. This is a commission that's deliberating it.
Are the community leaders throughout the state aware of this?
I'm not sure how many are. I know Lake Orion is because the director in Lake Orion Television is very loud and very vocal about it. I mean, he's actually the president of MICMA right now. And I tell you guys as much as I can to talk to your community leaders about this. I don't know if other communities are doing that. I'm pretty sure Bloomfield would be, Rochester, Troy. I just don't know that the communities understand how serious this is. If they lose franchise fees, they lose a lot of money.
Yeah, I apologize, but his name escapes me right now, the supervisor from
Chris.
Orion Town.
Chris Barnett,
Barnett,
yeah.
Is he going on this?
No, I asked today, and he is not able to go, but Ian is, and he's the director of Lake Orion. Chris, she's a representative, and I can't remember her name, I used to babysit her. Was a trustee in Lake Orion, now she's a state rep. She will be there. I also understand, I just found out today that Lake Orion has a retainer for a lobbyist group in Lansing. They will also be there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. This actually is to change some verbiage that MICMA doesn't want them to change, that then might down the road make it so that even Charter doesn't have to pay or AT&T doesn't have to pay. So that's what this one is all about tomorrow. It's not over yet.
Well, these companies were required to pay these fees, 40 years ago, right?
86, yeah.
86, so
86.
that was done by state and federal laws?
Federal, it was federal, and then they changed it. I don't know if you remember when I went to Washington DC, we were lobbying for them, for the FCC not to change it. And so far it's still,
So nothing has changed?
not really, no, but it's all going in the direction of, okay,
So they're still obligated by law to
yes,
provide these fees?
right, so far. And then a lot of it has to do with who's in administration, who's in
Yeah.
the seats that they're in.
And these efforts probably are being reenacted in just about every state.
Oh, yeah. And so the East Coast is big on public access stations, so there's a lot of noise coming out of the East Coast. It just hasn't bled over this way yet. But we really need to convince community leaders, because it's their rights of way, and it's their residents that they should be representing. I'll
Okay.
keep you informed as to, I just found out today that this is happening tomorrow in Lansing, so fortunately I had something canceled and I'm gonna be able to go, but I'll keep you informed as much as I can and ahead of schedule as I can.
Is there any questions regarding this particular subject matter?
I'll keep forwarding whatever I get from MICMA to,
All right, then I guess item 8C.
I'll make a motion to receive and file.
We have a motion, we have support,
Or,
we have a motion and we have support. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, unfinished business, discussion of next OHCT meeting date. It would be October.
Yep.
yes.
October 23rd?
Yeah, it would be the 23rd.
Did you say April?
October. April.
I got all excited. Over here.
Over here.
Over here too.
Yeah,
Okay.
so October 23rd.
All righty.
Item 9B, follow-up on insurance quotes from Dustin Drabick.
So, did you pass out what he sent us
Yes.
today? So you have what he said he was gonna follow up from our last meeting. He was gonna give you quotes for the 2 different types of policies. The public risk is the one with the umbrella that Karen asked for, and that's a quote for that. The power plan is what we're already under. And he recommends that we bring our liability down to 3 million. He said it's a matter of risk control regarding exposure.
And what are we paying a year right now?
On sorry, say that again.
How much are we paying a year right now?
I've got budgeted, 10,000. What did we pay last year, Dave? It was
About 8,700 plus.
So we're adding to the coverage?
No, actually, he recommended that we reduce coverage because we don't have as large of a risk.
So we pay more premiums for less coverage?
No, we're paying less premium. It's 7,900.
What am I seeing, 10,283?
That's the one for the quote that Karen asked for,
Oh,
the umbrella. This is, public risk.
No, this is our bill for this year, I think, and that's what prompted this discussion. This letter that's in the packet, that's what you're looking at, this 10,283? Am I right, Terry? This is what prompted the discussion.
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
this
what
here-
prompted the discussion is he recommended, when he came to talk to us this year about our coverage, to reduce it to 3 million. He said we're over-covered and it would reduce our premium. The bill is the current with the 5 million rather than 3 million. And then the page on top of that gives us, gives you the option that Karen was looking at, as opposed to what we're.
oh, this is what
covered
I'm supposed to
for.
look at.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's the same thing, it's attached twice, but this is what we would pay right now if we didn't change anything, 10,283. And that's
So
what
we're
it's,
saving $600?
no, we're gonna save 2,000.
Yeah, 2,500 almost.
$2,300.
Not with the public risk.
No, that's
We don't
That's
need
where-
public risk.
well, were you here at that meeting when he
Yeah.
presented and we talked about doing an umbrella and doing like a minimum and apparently it has to be this public risk is what he's saying.
Right.
And that was what, and then you get the, it's not called an umbrella, it's called excess liability, but that is technically. an
Oh,
umbrella.
sorry, yeah.
No, but I'm just, because I was looking for the word umbrella.
And
So-
so, he said we don't have enough public risk to warrant that policy.
We're not exposed, you mean, to that,
Right,
to the
and
risk?
there's aggregates for the other
Right.
policy,
It's
where
been-
these aggregates are
I
limited.
forgot, I do remember the conversation, remember him giving the speech, but that was back in what, May? June?
So here's my question, why, if we have 5 million now, then why is this 5 million quote say it's only 79.52? Do you follow me?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, if we're gonna take her credit and reduce it down, then really, what are we?
Did you, I mean, I'm just relying on your expertise, because you were the one to talk to him about the umbrella. Did you want us to carry the umbrella, insurance, or to terminate the umbrella?
I don't think we have an umbrella now, but my query to him was, why can't you just have, most people have a $1 million general liability on businesses and things like that, and then you carry an umbrella. And so that was my query, and apparently what he's saying is, based on the type of entity we are, it's a public risk policy, it's not, and then you don't get an umbrella, you get an excess liability care coverage. And that's what he went and did and got this quote, and that's where, because I didn't,
The
my
thing-
thought was, oh, you get it down to $1 million, your coverage is gonna be really cheap, and then umbrellas are even cheaper. But obviously, it's different with what kind of entity we are.
What I prefer about the park plan is it's unlimited aggregates. Whereas, and it says 0, that means there's no limit, whereas these are limited in the public risk policy. Each claim.
Right, but my question still is, why does this quote say 79.52 for $5 million when our bill is 10,283 for $5 million? Because this letter that sent the bill on July 27th says the balance due was 10,283, but if we want to reduce our coverage to 4 million, 3 million, and 2 million, we could take these credits.
Right.
So all of a sudden, we're gonna be paying a lot less for the same coverage, which is great.
Yeah.
But were we overpaying for a while?
Well, I don't know. I can text him and ask him. He's in a volleyball game right now.
No.
I don't know if you're gonna get the answer right away.
I mean, this is 2331.
You know, he did address, I'm sorry, I don't know, I can't, I know, but he did address why the premiums were down.
Yeah, I can't remember.
No, from what we're paying to what he's proposing.
Is it 79.52 after we get the credit of 34.50, which is close to 78.13?
No, because he's saying it's a $5 million general liability, which is what we have now.
You're right.
Insurance premium.
So,
I can't figure it out either.
right, so what's the true cost? Let's just say we decided today as a board to go down to 2 million. What are we paying? Are we gonna take a $3,300 credit from the 79.52? I don't know.
Are you saying 5 million is too much?
5 million is too much, 3 million is
He
what
thought it
he
was too much,
recommends.
yeah. So, yeah, I'd say it's too much.
3, well, he's quoting 5. What am I not seeing?
I think we expected him to go back and quote something lower, didn't we? Because we all sat here and talked about the fact that if I was allowed,
From 5
That was a
million
lot, I mean-
to 3 million, you're gonna get a 245, I'm sorry, $2,450 credit. So I'm imagining if you go down from this 5 million
Oh, I see
and
what
to
you're saying.
7,000, it's gonna be 5,000 something.
Okay, let's see, 10,283. 24.
But then you're also like $5,000.
Well, it's unclear what it's actually gonna cost us based on this. Unless we decide that we're gonna do this 5 million
Oh.
coverage for 79.52, which to me seems absolutely ridiculous for a premium.
I
for
don't think it
insurance.
would be 5 million. I'm double checking with him right now.
He's
If you
showing
go
you the
down to
credits
3
here
million,
if we reduce.
right, it's a $2,400 credit. If we
It's a
go down to
$2,400, if we
3
go from 5 to 3, and if we go from 5 to 2, it's a $3,300 credit.
Right, okay, so that takes you, it still doesn't make sense. That takes you to 78.33 if we go down to the 3 million. But then here, he says for 79.52, we get 5 million in coverage. So it still doesn't, it's not.
he said that's our current coverage right now.
So then what is this $10,000 bill for?
That, I think that basically gave us the same coverage we had last year, except that the rate went up.
That's what I'm guessing, that there was a policy.
Well, he even said the rate went up.
The premium
He told all of
increase
us
based
the
on
premium.
previous year, that this is what the new premiums would be. However, if we opted to reduce our liability from our current 5 million to these various levels, because I remember him saying we were overinsured.
Right,
So,
And we actually, he told us our premium was going up. And so that's what this 10,000 is. We were paying 7,900. That's our current policy. We were paying 7,900. Premium was gonna go up to 10,000. However, if we reduce our liability, we will reduce that 10,000 by $2,400.
yeah, that makes sense now. So we can go from 5 to 4 and receive a $1,350 credit from
Right.
that. Or we can go from 5 to 2 and go $3,300.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
see, I don't know what's necessary for liability coverage.
He recommends 3 million.
Are you good with that?
yeah, but it's still unclear to me what coverage is gonna cost for 3 million, because I'm looking at this, and the question is, do we get to take a 24.50 credit off the 79.52?
No, out of the,
Out
of
of
the
the 10, yeah.
10,000. That's what our current premium is for this current power plan. If we reduce it to 3 million, they take off $2,400.
Then why is he giving us this that says we can have 5 million for 79.52?
That's what we had before. That was our current policy, and we paid last year that amount. It was going to go up this year to 10,000 for the same policy. However, if we reduce it, then they'll reduce that 10,000 by $2,400.
Still seems like a whole lot of money to me, but who am I? I cannot believe that we have to pay a $7,800 premium for a year of insurance.
I,
That's insane.
I,
I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, what do other, I mean, I don't know.
what
I
is,
don't know, I can call Lake Orion and see what they.
does the coverage cover, what does this cover? Liability for what?
Everything.
For everything?
Meetings,
Are we,
yeah.
does this cover us too? Denise?
Yes, it does. Remember you called and asked me about that before?
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
And it even covers our car right here. Didn't you say that?
Yeah, it does, because you're coming here for the business of the commission. It covers all of our staff. It covers liability against our staff in a lawsuit. It
So if we
covers
get- if we're sued-
content.
if we're sued, any one of us individually because of some action we took, this covers us.
Yes,
Yeah.
and if you're sued 5 times, it will cover you 5 times, up to $3 million.
Pretty good track record if you're sued 5 times.
So
Us
where
to
does
us
it
getting
say-
kicked off the board.
Does it say somewhere that we have directors and officers coverage? Because I don't see that listed here.
It might be in the policy, but I literally called him the day that Ed asked me about that, and he said, yep, $100,000 per instance,
$100,000 per instance.
per instance.
We're not covered up to, more than anything up to, $5 million, it's up to 100,000.
Correct.
So what is the liability cover as far as, people falling on our property?
All of that.
So
Somebody tripping over. a
who
camera
insures the
cable.
bill?
Even though our property is not our property,
Well, we own the building.
yes,
Where's the insurance for the building? Is it in this?
yes,
So this covers the building,
everything.
everything in the building,
Content,
contents, fire, theft, all that stuff?
employees,
Okay.
fire content.
This is the whole ball of wax.
Yep. Do you want to read the policy?
I doubled up there.
No, I don't want to read that.
That's not the whole policy, but it does have an overview.
I don't know, I look at what I pay for insurance for my house. And, I mean, I don't know if this is out of whack. I mean, we're talking about a public entity here. I think there's more at risk here than what we have on our homes. But, I don't know.
So he's suggesting 3 million, so what
Yep.
he's saying is our premium would be 78.33.
Yeah.
$79.52.
I'll get it.
No,
You're
this
right.
is what he's saying, this is
You're-
what he
you're
said
right.
last year, and I finally got that through my thick head.
I wrote $22 here. I still didn't know,
I
right?
had to write, I wrote the same thing, on the same brainwave.
Oh, you're in trouble.
Well, comes out to what, 78.33, right?
Yes,
Right.
And I guess it's not far off from what we were paying before, so at a bare minimum, we're just staying where we're at, other
Yep.
than getting a little bit less
Coverage.
coverage.
Correct.
but, no. It'd be nice to know what other people pay, but.
I can call around and find out what other public access stations are paying. I don't know if they're a rider on their township, I don't know that. I can call around in the meantime.
How did we get hooked up with Decker Agency?
They used to be Gondalvi, that's the one we had originally.
For years.
Do or this particular agency specialize in government agencies?
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry.
Stay still.
What did you say?
Does the Decker Agency specialize in government agencies?
Yes, they, and I think he told you guys that, they insure multiple
Yeah, I know, that was
townships.
June. I'm trying to remember, but
Yes, they insure multiple townships, and we don't have the risk that townships have, which is why he felt expert enough to say, we're overinsured based on risk control.
So this is the only insurance that we pay for, like you said, for everything for
We
the,
pay insurance on the van as well,
oh, okay, so,
but yeah, this is everything.
so the only other insurance you pay is an auto policy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know, well,
I'm willing to take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the recommended changes to our general liability insurance and to approve the new quote from Decker Agency
to
For how
reach
much?
to the $3 million coverage.
with a $3 million general liability
Coverage.
coverage. I'm so,
At the reduced rate of which we're guessing is 78.33.
Approximately 78.33.
I'm finishing your motion for you.
yes.
I'll support that.
Now I have to go back and write it down.
I'm only kidding.
We're gonna need a roll call vote.
Are you ready?
Sure, I'll make it up.
Well, you can,
You can just
wait.
approve it next
We can
month.
wait. I don't want you to,
I can get you the exact quote, from the video.
Oh, yeah, I'll watch it. We'll be good.
okay. So, we have a motion. Has it been supported?
I support
It
it.
was supported. Roll call.
Mo, yes. Karen?
Yes,
Ed?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Item 10A, as the only member of the technical committee, if nobody else wants to be part of it with me.
listen, I'm mowing our,
Gotta
holding
go
up
to
the
breakfast.
We're holding up this personnel committee
Yeah,
stuff.
I get that, all
I
right.
nominate John to serve on the,
Well, it doesn't matter at this point, because I sat down with Terry, and we went through her needs and wants for the TV station. From my perspective, we're managing an entity that gets funded on an annual basis, and that funding is there to provide for this TV station and its needs. Terry is working with 10-year plus old equipment that's outdated and running on life support. So I told her she needs to come forward and give us what she needs to replace that equipment for now, the immediate needs. And this is what we came up with. For the following year, there might, there's an expectation of additional needs, but for right now, this is what we came up with. And I don't feel it's outrageous. I mean, she's looking at replacing 3 Apple computers, a couple of desk top monitors. I think, are you replacing the PC with another PC? After we left, I was thinking about, why do we have PCs and Apples? How come they're not one
Dave
or not
uses
the
a
other?
PC and so does our timing company. And that's what the timing system is set up for, is a PC. Dave uses QuickBooks, et cetera, on his PC, and then Jim uses a PC also. None of them have experience on Apples. And the Apple doesn't have a program, right, for the QuickBooks
Right.
and Excel. It's just easier for them to use a PC. There's no reason that they need. We have Macs because they are better for editing.
The Apple.
Yeah, the Macs. The Apples are better for editing. They're quicker and more accurate and more stable.
Okay, I was just wondering why 2 different systems, I'm just curious.
He sees they're cheaper.
What?
They are cheaper.
Well, they are cheaper. I'm an Apple guy. I was a PC guy, but I got one over.
Once you change.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Me
yeah.
too.
anyways, if you see anything on this list that looks outrageous or you question it, we need to discuss it, but, this is what her needs are, and this is what it's gonna cost. Is this a defined number, or is this approximate?
Pretty close. It depends on where we purchase the equipment. Some might be a couple dollars more. But I don't think it would be more than another $1,000 at the very most. And it depends on how long we wait to get them. Could be cheaper. Like if we buy apples next year, that are this year's models, kind of like the cars.
I'm just wondering if you wanna take and purchase some now under this year's budget and wait till January and purchase some.
I'm comfortable
next
with
year's
waiting until January. None, I mean,
But rather than hit everything in one budget year.
well, yeah, I see what you're saying, but I need you to look at our budget too. Because I've got money put aside for that. We also have a contingency that I need to talk to you guys about.
Yeah, that's gotta be discussed, but, well, let me just say, can we agree to, give her permission to purchase these items, and if she can purchase some in this year's budget,
Or have to.
or have to, she can, and then if she wants to wait till January, she can, but,
We have it in this year's budget as well.
you have room in this year's budget. So I guess what I need to know is if there's any concerns about purchasing the equipment itself, you know, what she's got here, if there's any questions regarding that.
I don't have questions about the purchasing, but I think we probably need bids on buying at least the Apple computers because of the cost. What did we give you? What are you allowed to spend without asking our
I think it's
authorization?
5,000. And that's all our card, and that's a whole other issue, but that's all our card will take.
Where are you looking to purchase the Apple computers from? Are you buying it directly from Apple? Are you buying it from,
You-
a,
It's,
like Best Buy or what?
B&H offers, we're tax-free, of course, with those, but they also have free shipping, and their prices are always competitive.
So they're competitive with all the other retailers.
yeah, like Best Buy or Amazon. B&H is what we've used for years and years, because it's always the best price, best service, best everything.
I'd
Not so
still like
much.
to see bids on $13,000.
Yeah.
When you
I
say
can.
bids, are you saying price comparison from
And I-
their,
And the comparison you would get would be Best Buy, Amazon, and B&H. That's what's out there for us. And I've done it with you guys before. I can do that.
I think it's a large expense
fine.
and we should get bids.
Yeah.
Best Buy goes out of business and all of a sudden you pick up 3 for $20. Go to Best Buy.
well, that's,
We have to have.
that's being at the right place, right time.
Exactly.
We don't go to
And
Apple.
big one up for me too.
Yeah, right.
Did we have this in the, I'm looking at the proposed budget that we, or
Yes.
this is,
It's
that's
in
for
there.
2024, but did we have
Yep. If you look under equipment, or let me give you a number.
capital equipment expense?
Yep.
So that was $23,000
Well,
for this year,
yes, and there's also
camera equipment.
equipment acquisition. See the amount in there?
That I need to, we need to discuss.
Yeah, so the money's in there.
So we had already set aside 23,000 for this
Yes,
year for
Correct.
these types of things.
Yep.
You need to move some of that money out of there for other purposes?
Out of where?
Out of the
equipment?
23,000 that we've already budgeted?
Well, actually, yes.
Yes?
Well, no, I can use it for the equipment.
No, but I'm saying, are you planning on taking some of that 23,000 and asking us to move it to cover something else?
No, because
No.
we have a contingency.
So, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, so if we were to say, go ahead and, spend up to this 23,801 or whatever, it would come from the capital equipment expense and probably equipment, camera, and computer expense stuff too, no?
Yep, but I wouldn't actually need anything more than 23,000.
Have we I lose track. Have we purchased anything yet this year? Well,
Not out of that list, but yes, we have. We've gotten 2 studio cameras that we needed
Yeah.
to replace. They were like 10 or 12 years old.
okay.
And we paid $198 for a really cool tripod.
You
Oh, and
waste.
lighting, we've also gotten lighting.
So you spent some of this money.
Yeah.
You bought 2 cameras.
Yeah, that's why we're down. Let me see what I have. How much do we have in that account now, Dave? I'm looking at our new budget, sorry.
Yeah, we'll have to do-
Yeah, me too.
For capital equipment,
Yep, capital equipment. Hang on,
uh,
let me look.
got 23,000 now, 16 and 24.
So we still have 23.
Oh, as far as expended, that would be in that QuickBooks.
Where is that? How do we find it? Oh, it's right there. All right. Hang on.
Oh, wait a minute. That would be in the township report too.
Studio. The camera. The computer. So we've taken it out of different places. Camera equipment, computer equipment, and studio equipment. Already. So we didn't take it out of the 23.
I'm showing you did.
Where are you seeing that?
I'm seeing capital equipment, 23,000.
Right here.
Year-to-date balance,
Oh, good, thank you.
$7,391.
Okay, got it, sorry, my bad.
You spent 7,300.
13,
So you got 15,000 available left in that 23.
yeah. Sorry.
So you don't have 23,000.
No, they got
No,
15 in that, and they got 12 in about almost 13 in the camera. So between the two, you've got
28.
16, $17,000 almost.
And contingent money.
Well, going back to my original question, do we want to authorize the expenditure for this equipment and let her, I mean, I guess and she's the manager of the TV station, I have to trust that she's gonna go out and get the best deals
But if we don't have money in the budget,
It's,
for next year.
No, for now.
you just said we only had 16 or 17,000 dollars.
for this year.
For this year, she's looking for 2024.
And have we adopted a 2024 budget
Well,
yet?
we will, oh, I see what you're saying, we haven't adopted a budget, so she doesn't have the money to buy it.
Well, I'm not saying she won't have it, but she doesn't have it yet.
She doesn't have it yet, so we're the cart before the horse type deal.
I actually do have it in this budget, but I would have to make a budget amendment out of the 100.
Well, we should probably, we're
The cart's before the horse.
yeah, we are voting on the budget for next year. We need to do that before we can approve this.
Yeah, that's true.
I would just rather stay in budget than take from contingency. And if you're not gonna buy it until 2024, take your time, get your prices. We got a couple months.
I can come back with prices for everything, bids for everything.
I
3
just,
different prices for everything.
if we're waiting to buy it, we might as well
Mhm.
wait till the budget's approved
Yep.
to approve it.
Okay, and I totally agree with you, is the correct way of going about this. But there's no issue with what she wants to do here. We're just getting the prices.
I think theoretically, there's no issue. I have no problem with what she wants.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that nobody has a problem with that aspect of it, so. All right, go and, do your homework, Terry, to get the
Yeah.
pricing and then bring it to us and.
Yep.
Like Mo says, you've got time since we weren't doing this for 2024 anyway.
Right. So do you want, a limit, like you don't need 3 bids for an $87 monitor, right?
No. It's
So
really, it's
you
just
only
the
need-
Apple computers, I think, that are,
Just the computers?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really know.
Well, that and the 2 field cameras, I guess.
Yep, I've done it before for you guys, so I can read it.
Well, and the desktop PC is also $2,200.
The PCs,
Well, then the
yeah.
mic
The
is
computers. and
$2,000
monitors.
too. I guess it's almost everything except for the
Monitors.
monitors.
Okay.
All right, 10B, budget amendment requests.
So, we want to, that Protect that we put $3,500 out for, and we took that out of the professional services. We need to take some money out of the contingency in order to bring that back up to the amount that we needed to be.
Contingency is what cash we have on hand.
Yes.
Where did we do with the rest of it?
What do you mean?
Well,
Are you talking,
this is what I want to make sure we have clear before we leave today.
right, well, we'll
The-
be able to clear that up when we start talking about the budget.
We have in the new fund that Joe got us, we have what, 252,000 in there?
Yes, looks like 82 at the end of the month. Our average daily balance is 254.
Okay, that's probably what I was looking at, was the average daily balance. So, where does the one, I'm looking right there, where's the 179 or the 181?
181, that's what we had as a contingency when I submitted our original budget for 2023. We haven't used any of that at all. And that contingency was created because for years and years, that money was just, it wasn't in our budget. And I don't know if you guys recall this conversation last year when I presented our budget, that I wanted it to go back in the budget so people could see what we have, right? And that's where we put it. We haven't touched it.
I understand that, but we have more than that.
Now we do, yeah.
I'm not an accountant. I'm married to one, but I'm not one myself. But, what did you say, one of the official from the township wanted you to do?
Okay, so I was gonna have that discussion when we start talking about our current budget, after we get through this.
All right, I don't want it, all right, let's just go, well, I'll wait for that.
We just need to add, from this contingency of $181,000, we need to take $1,900 out of that and put it into our professional services to cover that Protect that I hadn't planned on when I wrote our 2023 budget, because we didn't know anything about it until,
Yeah, we voted to approve that,
yes.
we did. And we also were expecting these budget amendments to cover that.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendment, moving $1,900 from the contingency debit budget line item 296-296-890-000 to the professional services line item, budget line item 296-296-819-001. Is that correct?
Yes.
I'll second that.
Question.
Yes,
If our contingency is 181, 280,
Now it's
Huh?
176,380.
what kind of math is that?
We took $1,900, oh, wow,
You're right.
yeah.
It should be 179,380, right?
179,380, yep,
Okay.
sorry,
I'm looking at
sorry,
it.
yep,
What am I getting?
bad typo.
So,
Then John had not already supported that
Oh.
one, but he beat me to it.
Do you want to make an amendment?
Well, we didn't,
Oh, you didn't say
we
the
didn't
total.
stipulate the
Yeah.
total, we just
Yeah.
stipulated
The amount.
Yeah, the amounts of the amendment.
I thought maybe there was more coming up.
No, thank you, Mo, good catch.
Yep.
That was bad typing.
Other people's mistakes, that's my business.
Yay.
All right, roll call, please.
Karen,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Mo, yes.
Okay,
2024 budget.
I will say I had nightmares about this last night, all night long. About the 2024 budget, because I had to create two. In June or July, I got notification from the township that they wanted my budget because they were going to approve it and their budget year is different than ours. So I only had at that point, from some communities, 1 quarter's worth of franchise fees, which is, so I figured all that out. But when I presented it with, I had a $250,000, I'm sorry, yeah, I had a $250,000 opening fund, and I had that 181 contingency fee in there, and they demanded that I take that out. They didn't care for a contingency line item at all. And so then I had to recreate a budget, subtracting that amount, which gave me a $68,000 general fund, and then I worked my budget from there.
Here's my problem. We are dealing with public funds here, and they're just telling us to wipe it off the balance sheet here, or just let it go. I can't do that, it's there. I gotta account for this money. I can't just poo-poo it away.
That's why I never liked it not being in the budget in the first.
Agreed.
Well, I totally agree.
Yeah. I mean, it's money in our budget,
It's money we have,
right?
and it's gotta be in our budget. I'm not sure what they're actually looking for. Maybe I need to go to a township board meeting and ask them, but I do not want any kind of discrepancy out there of monies not being accounted for because it's just told to, we don't want it in there. Now,
Makes you wonder what kind of,
well, I don't know what the reasoning is, but I mean, as long as I'm on this board and I'm chairing this board, I want the money accounted for. If you guys don't want it, then I guess I'll just, because I'm not taking I'm not going to be responsible for a budget that doesn't include everything we have.
So much could happen with that money that nobody knows about. Except for that every month we get that, Michigan account with the 250,000 in it.
Yeah, but that's our money.
It is our money.
That's gotta be in the
I
budget.
agree.
That's
Well,
gotta be
and
put
so
in.
people see that and say, what are they sitting on 250,000 for? Why are we paying them their money?
Maybe we're
Well,
prudent how we spend
they're
our
seeing
money.
that it's
I don't
going
know
somewhere.
how you
if
can
it's
say
in our
that,
budget.
but
So what's the question? Like, what's the?
I'm just telling you what,
Okay.
that's where I started with our budget.
I want to account for every dollar we have.
Right, but I know what you're saying, but I'm saying to Terry, why are we bringing this up and what's your point? I'm sorry, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
just-
what's,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
mean that, and you know what I mean?
So I was gonna present to you both budgets. I was gonna give you the budget the township wanted, which this is only the second time in the 25 years I've worked here that the township has requested our budget. And it really throws me for a loop because we only have one franchise fee, right? So I was gonna give you two budgets. I'm giving you the budget that you're used to seeing, and that amount, it's 171,000 in equipment acquisition. That's why we're saying we have it in our budget, right?
question.
Yes.
Line item 296, 296, 890, 000. That's our contingency. Where did you get that line item number? From
I'm lost. The contingent,
Okay.
the eight
the
nine
proposed
zero.
budget amendment, we just took money out of
Oh,
contingency
Right here.
296, 890, 000. Where did you get that line item number from?
well, so now you're looking at what, 2024?
She wants to know where the line
The
item.
line that, Sue gave it to us.
I'm just wondering if the auditors know a better
It's
way.
here. Yeah.
I'm sure the auditors know it's there.
Yeah,
Do they know if there a line item they'd rather have it under? So that it's
I can.
It's
find out.
represent, I don't know what fund this is. You know, in the village, water fund's 590.
Yeah, right.
Sewer fund's 591. 296 is the DDA. And every one of these numbers is the same number in every fund.
Mhm.
So 296 might be DDA motor equipment, that's gonna be motor equipment in every fund. I don't know what these numbers are, if there's a better number. But the auditors probably have an opinion on where to put it in our budget. And I don't, do you have the ability to call them? Have you ever talked to the auditors?
No.
Who are they?
Well,
I mean, we supposed to be able to call them, we chip in
I,
bills.
sure, I'm sure I'm gonna call them and ask them that. And Raina, right? Isn't she
Raina.
one of their auditors?
Raina Emmons, yeah.
Yeah.
You
She's
put
tough
the,
to get a hold of, but I
you-
can call her.
you and I had a discussion, and I had to think about it after I left your office. You put the money in equipment acquisition, the contingency,
Uh-huh.
to account for it.
Right,
For the
So it is-
township or for us?
Well, I don't care for any, at least for us.
for my budget.
I mean, I'm not really comfortable with putting that in equipment acquisition versus listing it as, financial assets?
Well, I think that's the question that, like most things, is there something else that it's better titled as?
I'm
Yeah, I
not
think-
sure there's a line item that the auditors are gonna rattle off and say, you want to put it in here.
Okay,
And it's probably gonna be like a 999 number.
I'll check with them.
Where did the 171,880 come from? Again, I'm going back to the pool, where's the 252? Or the two,
So I started the general fund at 250. Because I was working on it weeks ago. And now we've got 254, so it's 4,000 off.
well, that's because it's changed, because it's a market-based, it changes
Right.
daily. I get it. You're not gonna have the same number in there all the time.
And so then you take away everything that, or all of our expenditures, right? And we still have 171 left over.
Okay, so you're tossing that 250 into the opening fund,
Yes,
and you're throwing in all the expenditures
Yeah.
minus the revenue,
yep.
and you're still left with, you're left with 170.
Minus the expenditures, so the revenue is 578.
578 with the fees coming in from the various communities, adding the 250,
Correct,
and then you subtract the expenses, and you're coming out with the 171.
correct. 171, that's what.
There's
it
gotta
was
be a
anyway.
different name for this other than equipment. To me, I like contingency better than equipment active, but something like financial
I
asset,
think it's fund balance.
well, that makes more sense than anything.
A fund balance expenditure?
No, at the end,
When you're doing your budget,
Uh-huh,
you should have a fund balance.
yeah,
Hope you cross that, hold your fingers to have a fund balance.
yeah,
And the auditors will know where to put it.
yeah.
The auditors will know how to set it up. And the auditors aren't gonna want the township telling you not to put it in your budget.
Probably not.
I'm guessing there's a miscommunication somewhere in how they're saying it to you and how maybe you're, or how they're saying it to you, because there's no way that they can actually say just not put it in there. They-
Well, Brian was also told that he can't have, he had a $20,000 You wanted him to find.
At the library?
Mhm.
There has to be a way to account for it. You
I
just
agree.
can't just poo-poo it away.
Well, you could lose track where that money is.
Well, aside from that, you're going to pursue that.
Yes.
At the next meeting, you're gonna tell us,
Where we're gonna put it,
who does our books? The township auditor?
yes.
Nintendo, the auditor checks the books. She doesn't do it.
I do the books, the auditor take,
That's what
absolutely, yep,
the review,
Right.
yes. So the township's auditors review
yep.
your books. Are you gonna consult with them to find out
Yes,
how you're supposed to list this?
yeah.
All right, so then you will get back with us at the next
Yes,
meeting,
I will.
okay?
Yeah, and actually, this budget does not need to be approved until our next meeting, November.
I don't know, we can approve the budget as long as you come back with a proper identification line
Yep.
for those
I can
funds.
do
And I'm sure there's a phrase that they'd like you to use.
That's fine, I would love to, that would make me much more comfortable. I went to Curtis on this, because I know he knows all about their budgets, after I was told to take it out of there. And that was a suggestion, was to put it down.
So I went through, so where does the bulk of the budget change, increase from this year to next come from? Wages and what?
Yes,
Professional
wages, my wages protect. So this professional services jumped because I want to have enough in there for protect next year. Our internet jumped also.
Where's professional service?
Professional services.
Oh, there's the services professional.
1901.
Yeah, okay. So you went from 3 to 15. All right.
Plus, there's, within next year, I would like to find an IT person to rebuild our webpage, because we don't have access to changing things on it. So that would go within that 15,000. Let's see, what else has gone up? Nothing, trash might be less,
Yeah, but the amount we're spending on trash,
1,700.
it's not that big a deal.
Insurance might be less. Well, I jumped it up because he told me it was gonna go up. So I jumped it up and now it might go down. Let's see.
Well, it should go down.
Yeah, right. That's it. That's all I'm seeing. So I think I'll get flexibility, or I think the Social Security and MASC might change,
So
but I'm.
we can vote on this budget next meeting.
Yes, we can,
I'd like you to change the insurance and anything else that you know for sure.
to be more accurate.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
please. And then the line item.
I'm trying to guess on the outside of things, just to
Yeah,
keep that safe.
I understand it, yeah.
And the line item,
It's better to
yeah.
over budget than under budget.
Right, that's what
I
I'm
agree.
trying to do.
But that line item
Yeah.
identification is
Yeah.
really
Agreed.
something I need to understand.
And the reason the wages have jumped, number one, I figured it out with the national average. I figured out everybody's wages, which is 7%. But also with the extra funding that we anticipate from the village of Oxford, I told them that I would like to hire another person for news to focus better on our news, which I did, and he resigned yesterday. So that's gonna flex a little bit too. But yeah, I can come back, I would feel more comfortable.
Is there no opportunity to get any of the kids from the high school who are looking to pursue a broadcasting career?
Well, so I was supposed to meet tomorrow with Chaz, and he rescheduled me till next week, but yes, that's what we're gonna talk about.
Who's Chaz?
Oh, sorry, Chaz Millard is the video instructor at the high school. He wants to work something out that he can feed us his students and that we can also instruct his students at the school.
I think it would be huge for us if we could do some sort of cooperative, what do they call that when they work, the
Co-op.
Yep.
Co-op.
I'm 100% with you.
You know, the kids could get in front of the camera and get on TV and then they could,
Minimum wage.
and maybe they decide they don't like it, or maybe they decide they really do like it.
Yep.
You know, they wanna go forward with it. But at least it gives them some kind of ground floor experience that they can, you know.
The problem with that has always been, so I've been trying to do it since we were on 24. They have to have chaperones if they're gonna come to us, or then we're gonna go there. And they
Chaperones.
can't find, yeah, the kids have to have a chaperone.
Oh, to leave the
take them
school?
over here, to leave
Oh,
the
yeah,
school.
yeah, yeah.
Even if it's a club, which I even suggested, can't we just start a club for the kids? We'll stay over at night, which Orion does. But they can't find someone, and I understand that, those teachers are overworked and underpaid, et cetera, but they've never been able, but again, I hope to have a really productive conversation with Chaz next week.
Okay,
I'm
What
excited.
if they're over 18?
Pardon me?
What if they're 18 or over?
They can come if they're over 18.
Then would they still need a chaperone?
No, not if they're over 18.
I don't know how many kids are over 18.
Not very many.
Not many in the school.
they used to do when my kids, we moved here 30 years ago, there was something called, something fives, I guess. 'Cause my kids were the youngest,
Young fives?
young fives maybe.
Young fives, yeah.
Because they started kindergarten at 5, and apparently in Oxford, they did start at 6. They were a year later.
I also have good luck after college starts. Once the kids get settled in, then they need internships. We had good luck with that too. And I need a camera person for meetings if anybody's interested.
What,
Yeah, I'm busy.
That's why we have Joe here tonight.
who's missing? Who's gone?
Al resigned today, yesterday or today.
No notice?
No notice. He texted me and said effective immediately.
Was there a problem?
There might have been, but he said it's, he and his wife are starting a business. And
Oh.
he said he doesn't have time for both.
I get it, okay. All right, so then you're gonna get back to us with the budget for
Yep.
next meeting, so then this is tabled. So
That's what we need. a
10D,
motion for.
request commission members to
Did you
get
have a
their
motion for that?
governments to contact AT&T on broadcast sound problem. Enlighten us.
I'm just asking, did you have a motion to table the?
Do I need a motion to take?
I'll make a motion to set aside agenda item 10C.
We need a motion to do that? Okay, we have a motion,
It was 10C.
10C.
I'll second.
We have a motion that's been seconded, all in favor? Aye.
Okay.
Opposed?
Sorry,
No, no problem, I don't wanna break the rules.
I'm sorry, so now you're at the AT&T. Oh, I just want to make it known that AT&T volume is overblown and has been for months. And I've been trying to contact someone at AT&T to get them to fix it. And I know it's a problem at the head end at Oakwood and 24. I cannot get an engineer. And so I want to encourage, especially Leonard and Addison Township, who has AT&T, for you to encourage your residents to call them, because I'm getting nowhere. And they don't have to deal with me. They have to deal with the community. So I think they're just blowing me off.
So if a resident has AT&T cable or fiber optic cable, whatever.
Television.
Television,
Mhm.
they're having a sound problem?
Mhm.
Wouldn't the resident just complain automatically?
One would think, but I'm not getting anywhere.
What's the problem?
It's overblown. It's really loud.
But it's basically with our feed.
Yeah, it's not like if they want to watch Channel 7, 247, it's fun. It's a problem with the equipment at Oakwood Road.
Well, then where is the sound problem from the AT&T customer's perspective? I don't get it.
They're getting it's overblown. They can't even understand what's.
On just our channel?
On just our channel?
Mhm.
Oh, not everything else?
Correct.
Oh, I see, that makes me understand why.
That's why people aren't calling.
Yeah, you're right.
And if they can't get us on TV, they turn around and watch us on YouTube and Facebook and Roku and everywhere else.
All right, so you're just making that request.
Yep.
Do I need to vote on that?
No.
No. Okay.
Just request.
Item 11, mayor's report.
So I gave it all to you, but in August, I went to a professional development conference, and it was mostly about HR issues, which was interesting. Identifying exposures that we might have, which I think we're doing pretty good. Risk reduction with FOIAs. I presented, I told you about it, our budget to Oxford Township. Had to cancel our picnic that I was planning on having because we had COVID at the studio.
Excuse me, are you rescheduling that?
Probably in
We went through all
the
that.
spring.
Well, does it have to be outside?
No, I could do
You
something
got
on the
the,
holidays.
you got the community hall
Yeah,
next door to
right.
you.
I could do something on the holidays, that would be nice.
That would be appropriate,
Yeah, I could do that,
I think.
okay. We have some issues with MHSAA and the high school and NFHSA, which is National Federation of State High School Association. Because the school belongs to the NFHSA, they weren't letting us do live streaming. And then we committed to the tailgate party, that we were gonna live stream the Lake Orion game into Oxford. And so there was all kinds of issues with that. We finally got it all straightened out. That process, we ended up being able to live stream every game at the high school, which initially they weren't gonna let us.
Why don't you live broadcast?
Now we do. They weren't gonna let us initially.
But I'm talking about years in the past, didn't you do live broadcast?
Yeah, but they became a member of the NFHSA, which is a video streaming group. I can't even describe it any better than that, who has a exclusive contract with schools. So they weren't gonna let us, excuse me, live stream on our YouTube channel. And they actually became much easier to deal with after a week and a half of phone calls, et cetera. And so did the school. So that turned out really good.
What does that stand for?
National Federation of State High School Associations, and that's part of the MHSAA, the Michigan High School Association. Well, I'm sorry, they're contracted with them. And it depends on each school. Whoever is contracted with this group, the athletic director can either give a video team permission to do this or not. And Oxford signed an exclusive, and then they changed it after a couple weeks of talking with them. They changed it. So we're back in. We've had our staff meetings. There's another one coming up in the next couple weeks. We have a wonderful intern. She was amazing, and she ended up going to college, Northwestern. But she wrote all of our news and put all of our news packages together for Jim to deliver, which took a lot of work off of his hands that needed to happen, and mine. She's going to be able to do that from college, and we can still pay her to do that. So rather than her having to do waitress work and then go home and study, she's going to be able to do what she did for us right from her dorm room. She can't start it quite yet. She has to get permission from her video people first and make sure the integrity's there. So we're expecting the end of the month she can start doing it again, which I'm really excited about. I really love helping interns out. So I'm back on the chamber board, and as of January, I'll be the president, which is a really good networking opportunity for us. Dan and Joe are the ones that worked really hard to set up that tailgate party, which I feel was a big success, and that was in conjunction with the DDA. It was really fun, and I think it's going to happen again next year. Let's see. We had an incident at the studio last week. Somebody pulled on the doors and set the alarm down. And so this week we ordered cameras to put at the back door and the front door. There's kids that are in that parking lot skating, etc., constantly. And so Joe's installed the front one already, and then we'll install the next one tomorrow in the back of the studio. Just It's something that I can look at on my phone, and see what's going on. And still, we don't have franchise fees from Leonard. And that's it. And we're on our second quarter of franchise fees. We should be on the third quarter, but we're just now getting, we've completed the second quarter from all the communities, and we're waiting for third quarter. So I still don't know what we have coming in next year. We don't get our fourth quarter till January. That's it.
Do we have we don't have an attorney per se, or do?
We don't have an attorney per se. Mike said that he would help us out when needed.
Mike Watson? He's expensive though, isn't he? I'm talking for local concern, like, I
Like
don't want to put you on the spot. Do you want me to go talk to Mike?
I mentioned it last time, it said audit report, but Judy hasn't been to last meeting, she's the one that works with the guy that does audit reports.
It's not.
I-
it's not-
I keep bringing it up, but I feel like it, no, I can bring it
And
up.
I'm not blaming you. I know it puts you in a bad spot. And sorry. But,
Yeah, I feel like it's like, why does it take
Does-
so long?
well, I guess my question is, because somebody asked me the question I had lingered in my mind was brought to me by a township official, asked the same question. Does Leonard want to terminate their relationship with the OCC and not be involved? Is that the direction he wants to go, or?
He hasn't mentioned anything of that direction, I mean, it really hasn't come up in the meetings where that's been the case, but, yeah, I don't really,
When is our termination on the interlocal? Next year?
25.
Next year? No, 25, 2 years.
That's the re-signing.
Well, again, I mean, would you not be comfortable if I talked to Mike, or?
so you can talk to him, I mean, I can talk to him again too, whatever you guys prefer, but I feel like every meeting I try to bring it up, like, hey, what about the pet fees?
I may, see if I can set up a meeting with him.
And I don't know if this is the right time to bring it up, but you might want to consider, they're expensive now at this point. I doubt seriously that Leonard has that amount of money. If you want to just consider from this point forward, or some.
Well, I don't-
way,
I was
Guess
under
I
the
just have to
impression-
talk to him and find out exactly
Yeah, and
what their position is.
from Judy, when I was talking to her, I was under the impression that they were gonna pay him, but I don't know
That's
where
what she
that
told me.
process stopped at, or whatever, but that's the last that I had heard from Judy.
Well, I'd like to think their auditors made them set the funds aside for their future payments.
Peg
And we're
fees
back
and
to
that.
auditors.
At least they're peg fees, because they've done that before, and then we've gotten those peg fees, but I don't know about franchise fees.
What's the total amount to date that's owed?
It's probably around 10, 9 or 10. It's 3 years, like
But-
2,300 a year.
but for Leonard,
15 a year or something.
10 grand's a lot of money for them.
Yeah, even if it's 6, that's a lot for Leonard, that's hard.
I will make an appointment and see if,
I could be really wrong on that number, but that's kind of what I was figuring based on what they paid in the past, and they could not have as many people, getting franchise or cable, I don't know. It's just, I just even feel 6 grand is too much for them.
well, the money comes to the township here, and then they send it to them. I thought that's how it worked.
And the money may go to Addison, but I think it goes directly to Leonard, because Judy had she had an account that she didn't know, this was years ago. They had the PEG fees in an account that was just kind of sitting there, they didn't know what to do with it, years and years ago. So I think the fees go directly to them, I don't think they go to,
He might be right, because Oxford Township gets our fees,
I know, we
Yeah, I
just,
know.
and then they send them to the village.
right. Then,
So I would think
is it
Addison
just
Township
the
get
village
that.
of Oxford that gets yours? It gets,
no,
I can ask Lori.
right, it's just the village, yeah, we could ask Lori might be getting.
well, Joe Ferrari would be able to tell me.
And I think,
Oh, yeah, we get, the township gets the village of Oxford and the township.
but
They don't
Addison
get
Township would get
Addison or
Leonard's.
Leonard, correct.
I would
Addison,
assume.
Who was being reimbursed on one of the financial reports that I saw with
Addison Township.
Addison Township.
Yep.
Well, that means Addison was get their payments were coming here.
We send the whole amount, I think it hacked back.
Right, exactly.
Oh, you're sending the whole amount, no, we got it. Why
Yes.
don't you just send what you wanna keep, what you don't wanna,
I'm not the treasurer. I'm texting her right now.
I was just wondering, man.
I don't know, but I mean,
It's always been like that.
All right. Committee reports. I didn't do a committee report, I'm just telling you what we did.
I put down that you did.
Okay, well, that's my report. Since nobody else wanted to do it with me, so then Personnel Committee, you guys haven't done anything, I'm assuming, nothing?
doesn't make it sound like we don't do anything.
No, I'm just saying you had nothing on your agenda,
Not since June, no.
not since June.
Do we need to meet to discuss upcoming wages?
We can talk about it next month.
Well, it's gotta be approved possibly next month. When we
Oh.
approve the budget.
Okay.
Well, I'll let you two work that out.
Well, it just matter.
How do you, but it's, isn't it based on, isn't it based on performance review and then you're,
Yes.
and we usually do that by the year end, but, and then we backdate the wages and then Terry has to wait and then, I don't care, whatever, we can talk.
I can have wages done, or performance.
You did
maintenance done
performance evaluations
Oh,
for your
next month.
staff yet?
In October, I can do that.
I'll let you two, like I said, figure that out. Commissioner comments. Maureen,
I've done.
Karen,
Nothing.
no, nothing, John. I don't think I have anything either. Public comments.
Just want to say thank you to everybody that's involved with the station. We appreciate all of the support, and obviously getting new equipment is pretty vital to the station's integrity. So I do applaud you for coming out and saying, go get it.
See, much better than Kyle.
Well, you were talking about performance evaluations, you perked right up.
He means it. He really likes his job.
Other than that, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned.